Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to do Leisenring's Light Snipe and Yellow. This is number 9 of his 12 favorite patterns. I decided to use a vintage partridge nymph hook here. It's a little long. That was the style back then. Primrose silk, that's kimono. It has a gold wire rib, small gold wire rib. Buttonhole silk and primrose, that's Ovale floss from 54 Dean Street. That's a common snipe wing, and we're going to use the undercovert. The undercovert feathers are the ones on the bottom. Here are the two different kinds of snipe, Jack on the top and common on the bottom. The grayish ones are very prominent on the Jack Snipe and not so much on the common. He called for Jack Snipe, and I have a picture of a fly he tied. It does not look barred like you see a lot of the ones on the Common Snipe. So I'm going to use, I don't have a Jack Snipe, so I'm going to use the gray ones or the dun colored ones, which there are a handful of on the Common Snipe. And as we've done in all the Leisenring patterns, he ties the feather in early, feather out over the eye, stem towards the butt of the hook, and wrap down to about the 50% mark, covering that up. In the case of a rib, to put that in now as you go down, taking up the similar space to the butt end of the fly. This pattern is the main one of the patterns that really pays homage, I think, to the North Country pattern list. Sorry, that wire had a kink in it near that I didn't like, so went to the other side of it. The North Country hackled fly as an emerger, I think, was a important piece of Leisenring's arsenal and something he was very interested in. He clearly read the authors of the North Country. We know that Skews, who is someone that he revered or respected and was interested in, also took a new look in this Halfordian era of dry flies, took a new look at the North Country hackled fly, Stewart, Pritt, etc., and found them as useful even on the chalk streams. I think Leisenring also read those authors and was interested in that. This pattern is not really too dissimilar from the Snipe Bloa. Most famously mentioned in Pritt, that mimics this recipe, or at least this color pattern here. And I tied in the silk, and I'm just wrapping the silk up, trying to keep it flat and level. As I look at the video now, I can see there's a little bump there, but not too bad. Minimal turns here, keep everything sparse. This is not the heaviest hook, it's a medium hook. The wire is very thin. The silk will absorb some water. The hackle is soft. The covert hackle is very soft. This fly will probably sink depending on the speed of the current and so forth, and that's okay. Leisenring employed a lift, so he'd cast above a fish or a likely holding spot, but more importantly, a fish that was feeding on emergers. He'd cast above and then track the fly with the rod tip as it sank, and then sort of calculating when and where he was so that he could make it rise. He would stop tracking it, stop the rod tip, and then let the current take it with line tension and sort of swing, if you will, or lift the fly up towards the fish to reenact, if you will, or act like a nymph or larva rising to the surface to emerge, and hopefully the fish takes it. So again, wrap through the hackle there, and wrap forward, back, and then do a whip finish. His flies had a cone. Whoop! I got a little tangled there. Whip finish, and his heads have are fairly prominent and have a little bit of a cone shape. So back to front, 3-turn whip finish, keeping most of those turns towards the back to enhance that cone. Cut off the silk, and I'm going to play around with the fly here, try to make it look pretty, prim it up. The actually best way to make it look pretty is to get it wet. Once all those hackles get wet, they'll shoot into their position as they're hydrated, and then dry in that spot. And that is the fly, the 360. Here's a close-up of it. Pretty simple pattern. Here's a image of his tying, thanks to Lance Heidi, and thank you.